So Bookbeam did another update recently and added 3 new features. If you don't know what Bookbeam is, it is by far the best keyword research tool for Amazon KDP. It's this green one that pops up every time I search for a book on Amazon, where not only does it tell me the bestsellers rank of the book, it also calculates how many sales it's making per day and how much that comes out to in terms of royalties. It also tells me if the book is self-published or not, as well as if it's a new book or not. You can also click here and analyze the BSR trend, which is a good way to know if this topic is trending up or trending down, as well as if it's affected by the seasons. It also expands the search suggestions for you, so you have a lot more ideas. And that was just for the Chrome extension. They also have a web app where you can log in and has a lot more features, such as the book tracker, the research features like the category search and the trademark checker, the keyword research tool, which tells you how much search volume a keyword is getting, and a couple other features, and also optimization and some create features here. Now, out of all the features that they have, by far the most effective one is the niche finder here. Bookbeam is the only one that has this feature out of all the keyword research tool out there, and it makes it super easy to find profitable keywords. Let me show you how this works. So essentially you can pick a marketplace, so we'll keep it at US. You can pick a preset like top selling self-published books, new high selling self-published books, calling books, those kind of things. We're gonna keep this blank for now. And you can also sort by books or audiobooks. So let's just say we want to find best-selling books in the US market that are self-published. So we're going to sort by just self-published because we are also self-publishing. So if somebody else is self-publishing, making a lot of money, that tells us that we can do it too. So let's say we only want to find books that are below 30,000 BSR. And we also want books that has less than 20 reviews. So now Bookbeam is going to pull up only the books that are below 30,000 BSR, which is selling very well, while only having less than 20 reviews, which makes it very easy for us to compete. Now you have additional filters that you can use, such as filtering by categories as well, if you only want to see books in certain categories. But we're going to skip that. We're going to click on Find Books. And just like that, we have 270 books that matches that criteria. So starting from the top, we have this book, the Big Word Search Puzzle Book for Adults. Only 14 reviews with a 4-star average, but still doing 511 in the BSR. And it's making close to $4,000 per month while being independently published. If you want to open the book up, you just click here and it opens up on Amazon. We have a couple coloring books over here, Cozy Summer Bold and Easy Coloring Books, 16 reviews, doing over $6,000 per month. We also found some pretty interesting keywords that not a lot of people talk about. So this is a book on self-healing, only 16 reviews, 2,000 BSR. Or this one, Mental Toughness for Boy Athletes, 0 reviews at 2,400 BSR, which is pretty crazy. This tells us that this topic, mental toughness for boy athletes, is clearly a very, very in-demand topic because, again, it's selling extremely well with no reviews. So if you would come in and publish a book on the same topic, publish something that's better than this book, it's going to be so easy for you to outrank this book because hopefully you get more reviews than this one. So that is how you use the niche finder. Again, the easiest way to find untapped profitable keywords. Like we have a couple other interesting ones over here, like the Road Trip Game Book for Teens. So this is a fun brain puzzle, brain games, those kind of things. 3 reviews, less than 3,000 BSR. So those are some ideas that you can take a look, and they have 270 books on this, 270 different ideas. So that is how I use Bookbeam usually. 99% of the time, I'm just using Niche Finder to get new ideas. However, they came up with 3 new features, so let me show you what those are. So the first one is the historical search volume data. So what this tells you, which is in the keyword research tool section. So I looked up cryptocurrency as an example. And now not only can you see the search volume of the keyword and all the related keywords, you can also see the trend. And the trend is how many people are searching for this keyword versus last month, right? So this shows that 408% more people search for cryptocurrency compared to last month, which tells us that the interest in the keyword is trending up, which is a good sign because if we're publishing a book on a topic, we hope that the interest in the topic will keep trending up because that means more people want to buy our books. You can click here and expand the search volume history. And as we all know, cryptocurrency had a boom, right? And it went down and then it went up again, right? And then it went down and now it's kind of trending up, which reflects in the search volume here. So let me give you another example here. I searched for anxiety self-help books for women. And you can see that it trended down a little bit, 3%, which is basically nothing. But if you look at the overall trend history here, Overall, in the past 6 months, the interest for this topic has been going up, which makes sense because I keep hearing more and more people talk about anxiety, mental health. Those are something that a lot more people are openly discussing. It's kind of a hot topic right now, which is reflecting here. So it is interesting to be able to see these data. With that being said, I will take all of these data as a grain of salt, only as an additional factor to consider, not the only factor to consider, because a lot of these data, is not 100% accurate. Pretty much any keyword research tools out there aren't 100% accurate. So again, I would only use these as supplemental data, not the only data to make decisions off of. But it is still interesting nonetheless. The next new feature is the category history. So if you go here to the category history, you can sort by category history, top 1,000 self-published, and top 1,000 seasonal. So I'm on the top 1,000 seasonal side. And from here, you can see which books sold the most last Christmas, or I guess Christmas 2024, Easter 2025, right? And any other dates that you can basically input here, which is kind of interesting. So last Q4, these books sold the most, right? So this dad joke book was the #1 bestseller, I guess. And then this one, The Night Before Christmas, right? Obviously, because it's Christmas. But more than the Christmas book, this dad joke book sold better than the Christmas book during Christmas. So that tells us that this time around, for this year, right, before Christmas, it's probably a good idea to publish some dad joke books if you want to, capitalize on Christmas, because if it sold last year, then it's gonna sell this year too, especially because these are evergreen topics. So it's gonna sell every single year. Because not only was the #1 book the dad joke book, the #5 book, right, the 5th best-selling book during Q4 was this one, Jokes for 8-year-olds, right? So another joke book. So if you start seeing patterns like this, like #12 here is Jokes for 7 years old, right? So we're seeing a lot of patterns in terms of joke books consistently selling very well during Q4, then that's a sign that we probably want to capitalize on joke books when Q4 of this year comes around. And the third newest feature is in the reverse keyword tool, which is another super helpful feature. You can input multiple ASINs at the same time and analyze it at the same time. Now, with that being said, although that's new, I personally don't like analyzing multiple ASINs at the same time. I think doing it one at a time is more beneficial and gives you more clear data. But in terms of the reverse ASIN search tool, though, this is one of the best tools to basically spy on your competitors and see what kind of keywords that they're ranking for and get ideas on what kind of keywords you should target too. Right? So I looked up this book, Silly Crimes by Hikaru Katz. It's selling really well, right now. And these are all the keywords that he's ranking for. And these are the search volume of each of these keywords and the trend, competition, all the stuff that we saw earlier. But this is where it gets important, right? So this is rank. So this is where this book is ranking if you search for these keywords. So if it says 1, basically when you look up these keywords, like funny coloring book funny, funny adult coloring book, this book is the first book that shows up. And so it tells us that, all right, most likely a lot of the traffic for this book is coming from funny coloring book, which makes sense. This is a funny coloring book. It's ranking #1 in the funny coloring book. Funny coloring book has a lot of search volume, right? So it makes sense to assume that they're getting a lot of sales from it. So if we also have a funny coloring book similar to what they have, and we also want to make sales, it's probably smart to put this in our Amazon ad campaign to target this keyword so that we can also show up there. And eventually, after multiple sales, our book also shows up in the organic ranking of funny coloring book, right? So that's the whole strategy, is seeing what keywords your competition is ranking for and trying to target the same thing. Like this one right here. So Coco Real coloring book, the keyword here, has 171,000 search per month, which is a lot, right? You can tell that it's like way more than others because Coco Real built a huge brand in the coloring book space. So a lot of people are searching for this. And this book by Hikaru Katz is #2 ranking in that keyword. So obviously they're getting a lot of spillover sales. People search for Coco Real, but then they see this book cover by Hikaru Katz and they're like, oh, this is cool too. Let me also get this, right? Because the art style is also similar to Coco Real. So again, a lot of people will go for Coco Real, but end up buying Hikaru Katz as well. So how can we do the same thing? Well, we simply now that we have this information, we can put this keyword in our Amazon ad campaign and we can pay to show up first. And hopefully over time, as we get a lot of sales from people looking up Coco Real Coloring Book, we will organically move up the ranking and show up there too. So that is how you can use this tool. So Niche Finder and Reverse ASIN Search Tool, by far the most effective, although they have a lot of other features too. So I can confidently say that Bookbeam is by far the best keyword research tool in the Amazon KDP space at the moment. However, at the same time, it is also the most expensive keyword research tool out there, because a lot of the other keyword research tools like KD Spy, Publisher Rocket, those are one-time payment and you have lifetime access. With Bookbeam, it is a monthly payment, which if you're doing an annual plan, the cheapest one, the basic one, is $29 per month. So it's not that cheap. And I do have a coupon code, which is in the description, so you get a little bit of discount, I think. But even with that, it's not the cheapest. So I'm not here telling you that you have to get Bookbeam, you have to get it to succeed. That's not the case. You don't need to get it. And this is why, depending on your budget, maybe it's better to start with just KD Spy or start with just Publisher Rocket, right? That's why I talk about those other softwares as well. But Bookbeam, again, if you're just going for quality and if budget is not the issue, then this is the best one. If you do want to get it, maybe just start with 1 month, try it out, see if you like it, and then you can maybe upgrade to the annual if you really, really like it. So that's my recommendation. Just wanted to tell you about the update. Once again, I have a link to Bookbeam in the description. You get a little discount using the coupon code, as well as all the tools and resources that I recommend in your publishing business, also in the description below. If you want to check out any of my programs, I have a complete Amazon KDP course and a coaching program. It's the first link in the description. With that being said, hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.